Today on Criminal Minds, we talk about the Season 12 finale, Reid plays some mind games, and Morgan comes back. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to AFTERBUZZ TV. We're here doing AFTERBUZZ TV's Criminal Minds. It's the finale for Season 12, Episode 22, Red Light. Makes sense because last episode, the penultimate episode, was called Green Light, and now this episode is called Red Light. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SeraphiniTV. Joining me, I have
Michelle Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
And I'm Karina Vargas. You can find me everywhere on Twitter and Instagram at KarinaXVRGS.
And I'm Chris Howard. You can find I'm Chris Howard. Find me at Chris Howard Live on Twitter and Instagram.
Excellent. For the finale, this is the finale episode. What were your thoughts of this? Did this live up to your expectations for like an end episode to a season?
Never let me be a psychic. I'm terrible at predictions.
Yeah, we didn't do so well, did we?
We didn't do so well.
We all sucked on the predictions.
All the mark. They had some really good twists.
Mom's gonna die.
I know.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I
Karina?
loved Morgan. I just wish that they kind of showed him a little bit more. I felt like it was so towards the end, but I was like, at least he got some camera time and I got to see his beautiful face.
That's right, yeah.
No, listen to that. What, I gotta ask you guys a question because you guys have been around for a while. Why does he call her baby girl? Hey, baby girl. Why does he call Penelope that?
It's just their
Their
sweet
thing.
little nicknames
Yeah.
they have towards each
So
other.
she's got a crush on him.
Well, there was an episode back in Season 3 where they did a flashback of Penelope's first day at the BAU and they couldn't remember her name. And so Morgan going up to her didn't know her name, so she's like, hey baby girl.
baby girl.
And it just stuck. And it just stuck. So, and then it's been the running joke between those two that she always calls him some nickname.
Like Chocolate Thunder.
Thunder.
Oh, Chocolate Thunder.
I mean, he is Chocolate Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
There's no denying that.
Okay, ladies.
But what were your thoughts on this finale?
I liked the episode. I thought it was really good. Because just before we went live here, we were, I said, who's the sexiest guy in the world? And you guys all said Reid in unison. And Reid did look sexy in this episode. This was his episode. He owned it, and he looked good.
For sure. I feel like this was his season. I mean, he
It
had the
was.
biggest character story arc in this season.
Yep.
Let's get into Reid, shall we? So we know Cat Adams is part of all of this, and he has to go to the prison to talk to Cat Adams. And hence we start this mind game. What were your thoughts on this mind game? We know that Reid has to get the answer, or like really the one question.
Figure out what's the secret.
What's the secret question?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Your
was
thoughts?
afraid that like he would get the wrong answer and then she would kill his mom right away. But I mean, he did a good job playing it out.
I knew that didn't y'all know that she was planning on killing the mom one way or the other? I mean, that was kind of.
I mean, I thought she wasn't because I felt like Kat is that person that kind of keeps her word. And so I thought, okay, if he guesses it right, then, she'll let her live. But towards the end, it did not seem
You can't.
that way.
You never trust a woman. No, I did. That was a joke, ladies. Joke.
I thought because Spencer cheated last time that she was going to cheat no matter what.
Yeah.
And also she's in prison. She was in solitary confinement and she's nothing else to lose. And now that she's got this bombshell secret to keep her relatively safe in a prison, like what else would she do? What would cause the ultimate torment? Letting her go or letting her die?
Yeah, I mean, that was the running question throughout this whole episode. But it was funny because I went back and rewatched Entropy episode.
Yep.
Season 11, episode 11, I believe. It was like 11. And then now seeing the first appearance of Cat Adams and like how the whole mind game first started between those two, and now seeing it in the finale, it parallels each other really well.
It does.
Really well. Because we got a lot of we got a lot of answers from the first time, the first go around, that really answers why we got the same thing in the second.
And so, okay, I'm sorry, I kind of like missed a little bit of that. You the essence of what you got from doing that was.
So the first time that Cat Adams and Reid talk in the restaurant in public. In season 11, they revealed a lot of information of why Kat would do this again.
Yep.
Like in the first time we find out more information about the mom, like she was kind of quote unquote interested in Reid's mother. We learned that Kat knows about his mom and condition, which like makes sense of why she would plot this whole thing.
So, wow, do you think that they
mother.
planned it out from that far back, or do you think that they just, was the planning that in depth, or do you think they went back and just picked it up and go, let's do something more with this?
I think it's the latter.
The latter.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah.
Good writing, though.
It was. I mean, we got. I feel like we got a lot of the same beats from the first conversation back in season 11 to this one. There was a lot of parallelisms.
Parallelisms. Right.
Yeah, I liked. But what were your thoughts on this imagination mind game of Cass? That's her place that she goes to when being locked up in prison. You go somewhere. That's her place.
I loved it. I thought, I think they went into that knowing, this is an interrogation room scene. How can we spice it up?
Right.
And the way that they did it is kind of a realistic way. I would imagine that anyone who stares at the same four walls and has the same routine and has absolutely no freedom or independence would imagine a place where they can live however they want to live. And she chose that crazy room of luxury. Dressed very nicely, and he had the ability to go there with her because he kind of understands where she's coming from with it. And I thought that the contrast between the dark interrogation room and the bright white giant space was very well done, and it added interest.
I know, I love that too.
Yeah, it was. So that's her ultimate fantasy, to be playing it out like that and to be almost seducing him while she's torturing him. And then, do you think that Reid, when he was in that interrogation, did the fact that he had been in prison, did that bring a different quality or texture to his experience there, or his negotiation tactics?
I think so. I mean, I think also the fact when he yelled at Kat so hard where like he lost it, I was like, oh my gosh, like he gave Kat what she wanted from him, and I felt like he obviously had the right to react that way because of everything she was telling him, and his time in prison, like it changed him. So
yeah, I think definitely more depth to his character because he is like more experienced now, and that he can go to a dark place.
Side. Yeah.
Like he has that darkness within him that he's willing to go to. He doesn't want to, but he could go to like dark lanes like that, like strangling her.
How cool is that when she says when JJ says he may say things that are gonna surprise you or shock you, and he's dancing with her, and he's like, I chose the way that was most painful because I knew that's what I wanted. And
well, even before that, what did you think of the scheme that Kat's saying that they're pregnant together? Did you believe this? First of all, first question, did you believe
she's not the first girl who said this to a
Mexico?
guy? Yeah, I know.
I was starting to. For a second, I was starting to think that was what happened because it kind of made sense to use it when he was so drugged up, and thinking that it was, what was his girlfriend's name? Maeve. To kind of trick him into that. I thought, well, I mean, it's a possibility. You never
It made
know.
perfect sense. It's like, why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't it be done? And he looked like he was having memories of it.
Yeah.
Didn't it seem like he was
gaslighting memories more? Definitely. I don't really think they're memories. They're just like gaslighting.
Yeah. I think because she was saying all those things, like exactly what, like everything that happened, that's why I felt like he was kind of just picturing it, but it wasn't.
And what might have really worked.
Yeah.
I think it was much more realistic that the guard got her pregnant.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because
We still don't know, do we?
Yeah.
No, we do.
No, yeah,
Oh, do we?
It was Vulcans.
Did they confirm that?
Yeah, they confirmed it. But we've been speculating for
from the
a
very
good
beginning.
while
That he had something going on.
That there was some of the guards were shady, and we found out it is that Vulcans guy.
He
He was
guard who refused to let him go.
Yeah.
Right from the very beginning when he put him in the other.
yeah.
Yep.
We said it.
Yeah,
We called
said
it.
it.
got
That's
one
the
right.
only
We got
prediction
one
that
thing
got
right. Yeah.
One
got
right.
that
We
one
did
right.
not trust Vulcans. I did like that tie-in. But it was just really kind of surprising, and we'll get to the BAU unit. But when they found out that was their missing link, we're like, dude, we called it. How did you guys
we knew
miss
that.
it?
Yeah, why didn't they call us?
Yeah, no, seriously. But I was also thinking about it, how they would miss it. They didn't ever really go to the prison and see how Wilkins treated Reid. We did. The audience did.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know, it's that dramatic irony that I think the show did so well.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
All over it.
Yeah, but I think that the exchange and just reading his delicate mental state right now, and how he was still able to play this mental game with her, I thought was fantastic. Especially his rebukes back to her. It's like, you're not psychologically fit to be a mother.
Oh, I know.
I was like, yeah, you tell her.
Right. That was a little harsh.
Well,
Harsh, but I loved it.
but
No, it's great.
the thing was, it wasn't coming from a vicious place. I'm sure there was a vicious feeling behind it because of the current situation, but he even made it out, like, he clearly stated, this isn't anything against you. This is a fact about your genetic makeup. You are incapable of these feelings.
You literally do not have the emotional skills to care for another human being.
He said that to another prisoner before, where he's talked about their psychological makeup to their face, and it wasn't personal. But it's very hard not to take that personally.
I think you need to write that down. That's a good script for any kind of divorce or anything like that. Okay, well, I'm just joking, ladies.
Well, I think it was really smart that he can like still keep her at bay mentally, being like, oh, you want a family with me, but you can't. Mentally, you can't.
Yeah, you're not going to have it.
capable
Even
of
if you,
having it.
even if you got me, you don't have me.
Yeah, I thought that was. I was like, oh, dig, but it's sweet burn. I enjoyed it, but okay. So we find out with all of Kat's games and stuff. This simultaneously we have Lindsey Vonn, the person who's actually outside the prison, kind of pulling strings physically. What did you think of Prentice putting out the Amber Alert
I was just thinking about
to
that.
find her?
It was effective.
Yeah.
It was effective.
I don't mind. I think like that's not the kind of infraction that really bothers me. I understand why people would be up in arms if they found out, and why you had to put color within the rules, but that was, or color within the lines. Yes.
Color within the lines.
You know what I'm trying to say. But there were a couple of incidents like that we noticed where they were constrained by the rules. They were constrained. They couldn't go and talk to the prisoners that they wanted to interview. And then there's this other thing of the Amber Alert. So I think that's good. It brings some realism and grittiness to the show. It shows you what the limitations are, and there are limitations. A lot of people think that they can run wherever they want to run, and that's not always the case.
Yeah, and you're talking about limitations and all the red tape that they all had to go through
Right.
to, get all this stuff done. And even Prentice, we've seen in the past few episodes, she's kind of bent some of the rules and pulled some strings here and there to do things. But do you think all of these actions that Prentice is doing, first, awesome girl boss, like, get it, woman. But
Girl boss, lady
but
boss.
Prentice doing all this, she is in a position of authority, and her bending some of these rules. Do you think that will come into play? Will that be like a further issue?
I think there's some rules that need to be bent, but
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they'll probably touch on that.
Oh, I disagree. I think that
Really?
there has been a significant lack of oversight. That support character that's higher up that always looked over Hotch, really. Like, we had that for Hotch, and then Hotch
Right.
left, and there's been no oversight for Prentice, and she has been skirting some fine lines of the law.
so you think she might
has.
is going to come? Chickens are going to come home to roost.
Yeah, I
I
was like, do you
think-
think this is going to be a future problem?
Yeah. I
Right.
think it's going to come back to bite her in the butt in some way, maybe not a serious
Like
way.
Trump's going to fire her.
Oh.
Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. It's just topical. No.
I mean, it's interesting because I did read in another article that made me think about it, because Hotch was very by the rules and Prentice isn't really. I mean,
Yeah.
like, we know that Prentice, especially when she, back in season 6, that she was able to, go undercover to play a little dirty to catch people.
Yep.
But Hotch wasn't really like that, but Prentice is.
Yeah.
It makes for completely different dynamics when you're leading a team.
Yeah, and we really have no idea how she operated in Interpol, so they could have
she did.
completely
Oh, we could have some
rolled
cool. We could have a big storyline that comes out from that.
Ooh, that'd be great.
It'd be interesting.
Right.
Scratches abroad.
He is abroad.
Last
Interpol
reports.
could come into play. That's definitely a future storyline that we could
Or Criminal
play with.
Minds Beyond Borders.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have another crossover. Why not? Yes, but we got Lindsey and that poor guy at the gas station.
Yeah.
First of all, you get back into your truck and then you make a call to 911.
And you don't turn your back on the person.
You also
who
don't
are
tell people to
suspecting.
smile because they don't owe you that.
Oh, just
saying.
that.
I'm just saying.
That bugged me.
Oh, come on,
Smile
smile,
doesn't
Michelle.
cost anything.
Yeah.
Well,
It
that's
does. It costs your life.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
shooting him point blank. But
Sorry, that was aggressive. Just respect other human beings.
it's
And also don't be a psychopath that shoots people.
Okay, those are the two rules we're going
These
to
are
take.
the easy life lessons that are take away for free.
Take away from this episode.
From me to you.
we learn something every day. I felt bad for him. You know, like he did help, despite the fact he just got shot. You know, and he was only on screen for a minute, but he did help get the whereabouts of Lindsey, which we needed. Thank you, Amber Alert. They do come in handy. You know, we can find people in missing occasions, such as this. But poor Diana stuck in her truck, or like in the trunk. Sorry,
Yeah.
in the trunk. In the trunk.
But she has memory issues anyway. She'll forget about it.
That's terrible. Well,
Okay. Jeez.
She's still a human being.
Why?
I'm just trying to bring a little levity to the show.
that's not. Nope.
We saw Diana at the beginning of the episode live. Did you?
Number 2.
Yeah, there we go. That's the second one. Did you, throughout the whole episode, think that she was going to stay alive, or were they actually going to kill her?
I still thought she was going to die.
Yeah, I thought she was going to die too.
I
All of
did.
us did. So we,
I don't know, kind of not. I don't know. I was like in the middle because of everything you guys were telling me, and I was like, I don't want to believe. I was like, I don't want to believe that she's gonna die. So I was hopeful that she wasn't gonna. So
Yeah.
Jane Lynch could come back.
I know. We love Jane Lynch. I felt bad for Diana though, being stuck in that trunk, not going. We didn't really
Yeah.
see her throughout the whole episode. We only saw her at the beginning and at the end. I thought she was gonna play a bigger part into like coercing Reid to do something against his will. Like Kat was actually gonna use her for leverage for something.
and she's such a great actress, you know, so underutilized, but poignant.
Yeah, yeah.
It could also be that she was only available like one day
Right.
of filming, so they had to get both the nighttime car scene and the end scene in there. I'm not even sure if she was the one who was tossed on the bed because that person was covered in a
know.
blanket.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably
Could have
not.
been
She
another-
might have been busy that day.
Why not?
That might have been a stunt double.
Probably not. No, I mean, to make a cameo, that's still a cool thing to do.
Oh,
It
yeah.
adds the star prestige and all that to the episode.
Well, we had the BAU team. They were, you know, throughout this whole episode being awesome as always. They're trying to find the crossover between what's the difference. Not what's the difference. What's the similarities? The overlap of each prison. Let's find the weak link between Lindsey and Kat. Did you think they were ever romantically involved?
I did.
You did?
When they went to visit the guy from the gun shop,
The gun shop.
and he said something. I forgot what he said something like, "I don't
I
judge
don't care
by
who
the
people
people
date."
that they love." I was like, "Oh, that's the connection." Like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
From that line, I knew.
Yeah.
I figured it out too. I don't judge folks by who they love either. I was like, oh, that's an interesting
Yeah.
wording.
Right. I knew something was up. I didn't put the two girls together at that point, but I knew it was an unusual relationship from his perspective.
Yeah. Did you buy this relationship though?
No, they didn't really sell it, did they?
No.
No. Well, and psychopaths are incapable of love.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
They
We
are.
learned this in depth with Frank.
Yes, that's very, very true. I mean, it was an interesting tie-in for both of them to make sense because we were racking all last episode, like, how do they even know each other? But I guess it's just romantically accept it, move on.
Psychopaths attract, it's like birds of a feather.
Flock together. Yeah, I think so too. But I think it's more so the reason why I didn't buy it is because we didn't see those two together on screen enough for me to believe that there was a relationship there.
Yeah.
That they would go through a year and a half of planning and set Reid up just because they were romantically involved and wanted revenge.
And
Right.
did they ever mention how they met?
No, they
right?
didn't.
No.
See, that's another reason why I was like, well, how did they meet, first of all? Like, they didn't give us any backstory on that. So.
And we still don't know. I mean, Scratch
Yeah.
could have been involved someplace because I mean they did bring him into the episode, so it's possible that there could have been some kind of involvement.
Interesting.
Possible.
Yeah. So once they went to the Ford's gun shop, I figured that out. I was like, no, they gotta be lesbian couple. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but apparently in this episode, everything was wrong with that. But that's the big reveal, because we now know that Kat was not as faithful to Lindsey, which everything just goes downhill from here.
Yeah. Lindsey didn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, Kat was impregnated by Wilkins, and therefore, like, literally diffuses the whole plan. Did you think that this revealed that the unfaithfulness was enough to stop these two from doing what they actually originally had planned?
Yeah, I mean, there's what do they say? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Well, we got that out correct.
Yeah,
That's true.
Well, and for Kat, this was personal, and for Lindsey, it was only personal because it affected Kat. And once Kat pulled a dick move, it's like, fine, I'm out. Like, I'm good.
No, you cheated.
Are you saying
on
the lesbian pulled a dick move? Is what you're saying?
Yep.
And I also felt that like Lindsey loved Kat, and then Kat loved Reid. So it's like Kat. I didn't see if maybe Kat like loved Lindsey. That way, Lindsey stopped the bomb or whatever because she wasn't faithful.
Well, you get the sense that Kat was using Lindsey more than anything. Yeah.
See, like, I'm not sure if Kat was in love with Reid. I think she was in love with the idea that she could have been with Reid and they could have been a good couple. Not really love Reid himself, but like the idea of those two.
I think there's an infatuation, like an obsession of infatuation that's definitely there. That's
because she's had nothing to do but brood over the fact that Reid put her away a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And that Reid was the one who finally caught her, and she'd been doing it for so many years. And
see, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if she had impregnated herself from him. I mean, that would have been ultimate torture. So
if that would have been convenient, yeah. But the idea of Lindsey getting the sperm from Mexico safely back
from a drugged guy who
Washington,
probably
DC or wherever the prison actually is. I don't actually know if it's in DC. Where Kat is,
It's close
enough. And then getting Wilkins to be able to successfully get a nurse or someone to put it up there.
Right.
And then see if it takes. Like, it's just so much easier for Wilkins to do the nasty.
I believe
the professional terminology right there.
Do the nasty.
I believe that Kat, her prison was in either Iowa. It was a Midwestern state. I want to say it was Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, see, they can do that in Iowa.
Oh my god. I thought that whole twisted notion of the fact that Kat could have sent Lindsey down to Mexico just to get Reid's semen, just to impregnate her. Ew.
So gross.
Nasty. Even
She's
Prentice is like,
capable of
are
it.
you kidding me?
Oh, she's capable of it.
She's twisted enough.
I did love that. Can you take me off speaker?
Can you take me out of speaker?
That's one of those things where it's like, oh, I wish I would have done that. She probably does wish, It's like, dang, if I could have done that, that'd have been great.
I mean, this show would have gone to a whole nother level of darkness.
That was cool though. There was possibility in that. So.
But then what were they gonna do with the child? Like, what if when they was born? Like,
right.
It's so crazy.
Speaking of born, did you notice on the list of all Kat's medical records and stuff, it said expected date was November 15, 2017. So it would have been like future.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
They're in the
so
future.
we're just trying to figure out the actual timeline.
The timeline for that.
They're in the future in relationship to us?
No.
Her due date.
Oh,
her due date would have been
November 15th, 2017. Wow.
That would have been in February, baby.
Yeah.
That makes it a Pisces?
They said like 3 months ago because they were doing the timeline. They're like, it matches up to when you were in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, that's twisted. That's so sick.
That is twisted. See, I still, when did they prove that it wasn't his?
When they figured out it was Wilkins who was helping her.
I know they figured that out, but that's just what Reid put out there.
Yeah, that isn't definitive proof on
there's still a dangling possibility that they should leave that open a little.
I think that added to the whole gaslighting. Like, no way is this possible.
Right.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. But, I mean, in theory, it could have worked out.
Right.
But it was just too far out there.
Yeah, but
was
you'd have to wonder if
cool.
somebody was incapacitated like he was, if she would even be able to get it, you know?
Yeah. It's also interesting now knowing Lindsey left the message XX-XY on behalf of Kat for Reid.
Yeah.
Clearly didn't know what it meant.
Now, wait a second. Now, that is interesting, because if she left that message, she was planning the whole pregnancy thing back then.
Yep.
It was. And, you know, it's funny. I'm, like, really glad I rewatched Entropy because Kat in that episode said chromosomal signs.
Yep.
She literally said the word chromosomal
So
signs.
I think there's a possibility. I think we haven't closed that loop yet, because why would she leave that there if that wasn't really what she did?
I don't know. I think it was just her way of taunting him.
Yeah.
That, like, the fact that she's pregnant, it could either be a boy or a girl.
Do you think for
We
that
don't
twisted girl that she would just taunt him and say, "Oh, I'm pregnant with it," like lead him on when she actually had the ability and she was thinking about it at the moment of leading him on? You don't think she would have made the choice to just do it?
No. I don't want to think about that.
Okay, all right.
I still stand by what I say.
Okay.
It would have been really, really, really difficult.
Okay, my prediction for next season is that it's really his.
No. I'm going to say no to
Okay.
that. I'm going to... Nope.
All right, all right.
Nope. And Wilkins died. He was shot point blank as well
With a hollow point.
with a hollow point
Gotta
bullet.
love consistency.
That's definitely
Lindsey.
her The takedown was nice though. I was like, it was more smooth than I thought it was actually going to be.
Yeah.
Hence, thank you to technology with the whole FaceTime and get the actual real-time reveal. I liked it.
But they were FaceTiming a security camera, so it was hacked in through Penelope somehow.
Yeah. She's so good.
It was fascinating. And there was a weird, like, this was just, it looked cool on the phone. It was just an aesthetic thing to me where it zoomed in on Kat's face really close and then it was back to the normal room size. And it's like, that's an interrogation room camera. That doesn't have zoom. It's not a feature. Unless Penelope's sitting there like, I want to look at her face.
Zoom. Who knows? I mean, Garcia's capable of
She
anything.
is.
She is.
Especially someone who hurts Reid. She's going to be like, I want to see your face.
Yeah, like, I got you. Got you on candid camera now.
Shift plus.
Yeah.
Just a whole bunch of
Command
times.
plus. I did like the reveal. I thought it was like, I felt it was too simple because watching the so-called takedown of Lindsey at the end, I was like, oh, we're only 45 minutes in. We still have another 15 minutes. What else is there to come? We have Morgan. Morgan comes back. Aw, Derek. We missed him.
We did.
We
What
missed
a
him.
beautiful human.
Yes. What were your thoughts of his return? Did you enjoy it for the short amount of time he was on screen?
I did.
I did too. I just wish it was longer, like I said.
Yeah.
And I wish he kind of had a little bit more part in Reid's storyline. I don't know, somehow try to help them as well and not kind of it just be about Scratch or him kind of coming, oh, like, this is a message I got. I wish he was more, I wish he took part in it.
Yeah. Well, they did explain
Valid reason why
he
he can't,
didn't
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they purposely kept him out of the loop. Reid didn't have him on the visiting. Like, they didn't want
He's a
to
private
mess
citizen,
with his
Yeah.
personal life.
Yep.
He's a civilian now. He deserves privacy.
Well, I'm just sad that the only reference of him and Reid seeing each other was him being like, I'm going to bring breakfast to him. And we didn't actually get to see it before
Yeah.
the season ended. Because their reunion would have been awesome.
Yeah, that would have been
Because
nice.
he saw everybody except for Reid.
Except for Reid. But what did you think of the reunion between Morgan and Penelope Garcia? So sweet.
I just love their
Hey, baby
dynamic.
girl.
You can tell that they're really amazing friends outside of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it just reads on screen so amazingly.
You smell like hope and happiness.
Oh.
I enjoyed it.
I even loved the last part when she was just looking out when he left, and then they
I hate
looked,
when you leave, but I love to watch you go.
She's very
love
cute.
that.
She's got this cute,
Yeah.
great character.
Yeah. I really liked it because, you know, it felt like a hello, goodbye kind of scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this was the last time we ever saw those two on camera together,
It was well done.
Very
it
well
could have
done.
been, a full arc to their friendship.
Yep.
Like, and it's like, I love you, I'm proud of you, and now I'm just gonna go home to my family.
Yeah. And I do love the plug for Alvez. Like, could you try to be
That was funny.
a
I like
little
that too.
nicer to him?
What did she say? It's complicated or something?
Complicated. Yeah. So proud of you. I love you always. Go save some lives, baby girl. Oh,
Baby girl.
Shoot. They are great. Their relationship, we've seen it for 12 years now. We didn't really see it so much this season. But we know that they truly care for each other. Every time they call each other on the phones and stuff, they always have that sweet exchange of that they're truly, genuinely looking out for each other. Mm-hmm. And we got it once again in this. Minnie walked away. Fun, cute, blowing kisses to each other.
Yeah.
I think this is what every fan of Morgan and Penelope together wanted. Like, that was an ode to them.
Yeah.
More so. I enjoyed it. But we send the BAU team out to this fake location, safe house, and their cars get road spiked. What did you think of this?
I mean...
Well, it was obvious. It's obvious that he was ready for them to have found out the truth.
Like, it's a trap.
He's always 5 steps ahead. So they're like, we have SWAT looking. We've inspected this. No one's going to set foot. He plans traps for his traps. And then the spikes come out on the road on this automated. They probably hit a sensor. Where it was like, okay, I'm going to snap to. I don't think the semi-truck was planned, though. I think that was just...
What the hell?
That was just terrible timing.
Oh, really?
I don't think Scratch could control the semi-truck.
Oh, you don't think he was... I thought he was driving it. I thought that was...
I think the semi-truck was actually...
Part of the trap.
Yeah, part of it, totally.
He wouldn't be driving it, though.
Because that hit them pretty...
Yeah, I was like, if any random civilian driving that semi-truck saw that there was enough time for that truck to stop, that was a purpose on...
And on point with a lot of velocity. It's hard to think that...
to brake, it was
if that really happened, it's hard to think that there would really be survivors or that they'd be in good shape if they survived.
And I think maybe Scratch gassed the guy that was driving and made him kind of
That's
do
possible.
That. That's part of his MO and everything. So
one of them got hit a little bit. And then the other one got hit full on.
Who
was in that passenger seat? Was that Rossi or
Prentice was in there.
It was Prentice, Rossi, and Tara. That they were the second car that got hit, but they got the full blunt of the truck. And Prentice is at the window, like literally, she's the one who gets the full impact. It's like she's been in a car, like a truck has hit her before, she'll be fine. But I'm worried. I was like, another truck? Come on! Yeah. But she got the full impact of it. Like,
take out the leadership.
Very rarely would someone actually survive that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to explain that away because that's what they're all going to walk out unscathed. I don't think so.
They're all at least going to be in the first episode because it was reported that they would all be returning for season 13.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I know how to hold a grudge.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, well, they said that everybody was coming back, so nobody's going to die.
At least
come back
right at first. Yeah, we didn't get a death in this episode, but it was...
Well, we got 2. We got
the
dude at the gas station.
The dude at the gas station.
And Wilkins.
And, okay, all right. Okay, people
die in this episode.
But they gave us a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, did you enjoy this cliffhanger? I mean, it's such a recurring trope in television shows for like some type of car accident or vehicle collision as a cliffhanger.
A recurring trope. I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah.
A trope.
It's just a trope. That's pretty redundant.
What are the past season finales like again? I'm trying so hard to remember.
Well, this just reminded me of season 3's finale when there was that whole montage shot of every agent's getting into an FBI government vehicle, and then there was an explosion, and you don't know which agent
that's
it was.
such a sad episode.
And that one's the one with Hodge that he was someone else. See, I don't know. This season finale, I felt like it kind of did remind me of that. It kind of brought an element of it happened already, and since I know that everybody's coming back, I kind of wish that they would have done something a little bit more, kind of a cliffhanger for Scratch, instead of the whole team. Which
you get a point. That's a good point because I have to say, if I'm honest, that I enjoyed some of the prison episodes even more than I enjoyed the finale. So the finale I thought wrapped the loop well, but it wasn't my favorite of like the last 3 or 4 episodes. The ones before that, I think it's just been such a good build up that I just saw this more as a...
Yeah, and that's interesting because we don't even know if this was Scratch. It could be someone completely different because that's not Scratch's MO to spike vehicles, you know, like spike the
Really?
tires and run trucks into them. That's not his thing.
And to be fair, I don't think they rounded up all of the prisoners that escaped at the end of last season.
No, they haven't. There's like 4.
They kind of like they
still
started catching them, and then it just went away for a couple episodes, and then Spencer went to prison, and we had our new arc for the second half of the season. But that random middle, I was like, wait, what? Why are we done?
Yeah.
Why are we done catching the bad guys that got out?
So yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. We don't know if this is even scratching part of this whole
Because we were so hung up on
situation.
Scratch this
I
entire
know.
season.
I know.
And he
they
still
really twisted
technically
it.
hasn't been part of it.
And now I wonder if next season, if all of it is going to be about Scratch.
Peter Lewis.
Well, I do have something in news, but yeah, just a little bit.
Do you have a profile?
No, I don't. I have news instead. But I have an awesome prediction that
Oh.
I'm going to throw out there. I hope they're all alive, because literally when I watched this episode, I yelled out loud, "No!" Like, what? No! Like, because I was more so worried for Prentice, because she got
the full blast.
the full blunt of that impact. That it did not look good. I'm like, again? Come on. She's pissed, or she will be, you know.
When she wakes up
back.
again.
Again?
When she comes out of a coma.
I got hit by a truck again. I hope everyone survives, though.
I'm
pretty sure
She
most
might
of
be
them
in
are
a
going
coma
to
the
survive.
first episode.
I know. No,
I mean, that would make the most sense.
I know.
It would make the most sense. I know that those are like armor-plated SUVs, but still, that's a semi.
Yeah, that was semi. There was no escaping that.
Semi went boom.
Shoot. Overall, it left us on a cliff note and cliffhanger, and then Diana didn't die. So
Diana did not die.
I feel bad. We've been predicting her death
Right.
for a while now.
I finally came to grips with it last episode, and it was wrong.
We were wrong.
Sorry,
They might have changed the script
Diana.
because of us.
I feel like we
Right?
did.
We're like, she's going to die. She's going to. They're like, okay, change it.
Yeah.
I was finally
Yeah,
Change it
wrong.
and reshoot right
Let her
now.
live.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she survives, but maybe later she might die. Who knows? Just due to health issues.
I
That was
kept
my
thinking of that.
prediction.
I kept thinking that she'd say, "Oh, it's so good to be back," and then she'd walk out and then fall over from a health issue or something, and it was like, no. And then I thought, that can't happen. That can't happen.
Yeah, I was like, I'd be okay with her character's death due to her just deteriorating mind.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd be okay
that's
with
more
that too.
acceptable than at the hands of a serial killer or murderer.
Less traumatic.
Yeah, or at the hands of the crazy psychopath bitches that we just had.
Marisa.
Just saying. All right. Anything else about this episode? Anything you liked, disliked? It was a pretty solid.
I love Reid's character. I love the actor. I think, I mean, not in an unusual way, but I think he's fantastic, and I thought I really appreciated it. He does. He's got a great look and a great feel, and I love the whole psychological side is sexy. You know, there's an appeal to it. There's a charisma to it that I enjoyed, and I enjoyed his whole character arc this season. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I love the episode. I didn't so much love the ending, the cliffhanger of it, but overall, I think I got a good amount of answers for it being a season finale.
You got your money's worth?
Not that much.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. Did you enjoy it?
I concur. I ultimately enjoyed it. I do think I enjoyed Green Light better than Red Light.
Yeah, I did too.
And this isn't my favorite season finale, but it's also not my least favorite.
Yeah. I think Greenlight did such a great job of leading us up to
this
us
moment.
getting answers.
Yeah.
Like, Greenlight was literally the anticipation building, and I
like
think that's why it
Everything
felt so good.
you've thought is wrong.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything was like shock after shock after shock.
You're like, what?
When they kicked it into high gear with the script and putting him in prison, we know that did something incredible for the show because the ratings went up and more. All the viewers were out there watching it and stuff, and it grabbed people that it didn't usually grab. And I have to say that it really it pulled me in more than at any other time when I was watching it. So they did some really good writing, and kudos to the team.
I agree. It was a very fresh take because almost everyone's been kidnapped, but this is the first time someone's really gone to prison.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, very true. All right, so I do have a little bit of news. for
AfterBuzz
this particular episode. Erica Messer, who is the executive producer and showrunner of the show. TV Guide is actually a really good interview with TV Guide. They asked her all about like the season and this particular finale, and they asked her why did they decide on doing a cliffhanger, and she said that they felt like they earned the right to do a proper cliffhanger this year of all years. She says, we started kicking around and pitching it to the studio and the network, and they loved it, so they went with it. And they probably decided that they didn't like make the full decision until February this year that they were going to go with the cliffhanger, and then they actually shot it.
Don't they do that every season? They don't do a cliffhanger every season?
Not every...
Really?
No, there's been some episodes that have actually tied everything together. But yeah, they made the decision back in February, and they shot the finale in March. So not that long ago. Very true to the production schedule. And the writers of, and people are wondering if everyone's going to survive, the writers of the show, Criminal Minds, they start back up on June 5th, and that's the first topic that they have to, cover if after the accident, if everyone's surviving.
I wonder if that's a burning question for them.
Critical. It's a burning question for all of us.
Do you knock somebody off or not?
Yeah, and I guess, everyone returning next season, we did have that confirmed that they are. So yay. People survived, at least for the most part.
At least for one episode.
At least for one episode. And only because they said in the negotiation when they were... sometimes they've actually started writing for the next season when they don't even have the actors fully back on board yet. But usually they're in a good negotiation state that they're confident that they'll come back, so they already... rewrite that. They already write that.
So you don't want to put too much power in the actors' hands. Right time, right place.
Like sometimes they actually write the episodes before they get the confirmation that they're actually coming back. So I thought that
a little
was
strategy there.
Yeah. And they're gonna questions if Reid gets fully reinstated back into the BAU. And we're like, yeah, that'll probably happen. And the Scratch storyline. So we were all questioning. If Scratch is going to be another big part of next season. And because season 13 has a full 22 episode order, at the end of 22, they'll be at the complete total episode count of 299. So literally, they have one more episode to get to 300. So they're wondering if they should hold that off until season 14. So like maybe that could be the big episode build up to episode 300, which would technically be in season 14.
Interesting.
Wow. So there will be a season 14.
They're very confident. I love it.
We don't know. They said be questioning if Scratch should be wrapped up in next
14 seasons. They've got some loyal viewers.
Well, they do. I mean, I feel like a lot of shows are crossing that 12-year mark
True.
now.
True.
Well, and police dramas do exceptionally well.
Yeah. I mean, and procedural shows like this do exceptionally well. I mean, look at Law and Order.
I was going to say, I think the original Law and Order has been on over 20 years, and SVU is on season 17. NCIS.
NCIS, CSI, all these procedural shows do really well. So I'm not too worried about this one.
Yeah, me neither.
Look how excited you are.
I'd be okay with watching this for another few seasons. Yeah.
Twist my arm.
So it's still up in the air. They said they're definitely going to write more Scratch episodes, but they don't know if they should wrap his story up early in season 13 or actually wait to season 14 to episode 300
Interesting.
to finish him out. That's all I have.
I like that.
I'm glad you're excited.
The interesting, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this episode only had one quote. If there was a quote at the beginning, there's no quote at the end.
Yeah.
Because it was a cliffhanger, we don't know.
Interesting. It's like, what quote do you use for a cliffhanger?
You don't. Apparently, you don't. But, all right, so that brings us to predictions, then.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, predictions, you guys?
It's his baby.
No, it's not
It's
his
Reid's baby.
It's not his baby. He's not the baby daddy.
He's the baby
I
daddy.
don't know. I don't see that. But my prediction, I'm predicting that next season, hopefully they will wrap up with Scratch. And I am hoping, this is more of a hope, not a prediction, but I hope that they kind of do more of a storyline for Prentice, knowing that she's back, that she's there full time now. So maybe like you were saying that she's in a coma, and I'm like, well, maybe something could happen there. So
I'm going to speculate, not predict, okay, that Derek Morgan maybe might come back for 1 or 2 episodes, because I feel like it wouldn't be in his character makeup to leave everyone in the hospital because they just got hit by a semi.
Yeah.
Oh, that, yeah.
So, though nothing has been confirmed, he hasn't talked about. I think he alluded to never shutting the door on Derek Morgan, and I feel like it makes sense that he would stay,
right,
for support, and that Savannah and Hank would come to visit, to be there for his other family. Really, I will also speculate that at some point Spencer's going to take a break. I think much like when he was addicted to opioids.
Opioids.
Thank you so much. That's a hard word
When
to
he
say.
was a
apparently.
druggie.
When he was a druggie.
It is,
Well, he's taken various breaks throughout the shows because Matthew Gray Gubler is working on different projects outside of Criminal Minds, and I feel like it would make sense for his character if he tried to come back to the BAU, and then his mom worsened, and he was like, you know what, I need time for me. I promised her I would never leave her. I want to spend time with her, and he was maybe gone for half of it.
Yeah, like he took a sabbatical.
I feel like that's a plausible storyline. I don't know that it'll happen, but it makes sense.
That could even be a possible ending to Diana's story.
Yeah, like she
could be.
passes peacefully spending time with her son in Las Vegas. Like they go home.
Why do we think we got to get rid of Reid again?
I don't
Well,
necessarily.
he's tied to Diana.
I think it would make sense for his character to do that, and I just from previous seasons, like I can't speak for Matthew's schedule in the slightest. But he takes on a lot of independent projects. Not a lot, but he's done it a couple times where he's gone about 6 or 7 episodes.
Got it.
And then comes
back.
Yeah. It was interesting because you said about schedules, also with Shamar Moore's schedule, when they filmed this finale episode, they only had Shamar Moore for 1 day. So hence you only had like 2 scenes with him, only because of his schedule. And he was also simultaneously about to start filming the pilot for SWAT. So literally they only had him for 1 day. So for the small amount of time we got him, it made an impact emotionally. Okay, so my prediction, it's kind of a cool one. But okay, so the FBI, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the FBI agent who told Morgan that, who told Prentice that Morgan is in his office, they lingered on him a little too long.
Oh, really?
They did. It was a weird look.
Yeah, they lingered on him a little too long. And I'm like, who is this guy? Could he be working with Scratch? Could he be Scratch? I mean, we kind of know what Scratch looks like, but I don't know, Scratch could have done a face operation, whatever. But I figured...
Interesting. I missed that. I totally missed that.
This was also at the same time where they're figuring out... that fake text message, and then they the whole BAU team leaves. I figured that could be like literally a goose chase to get the BAU out while he's there literally at Quantico.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
because they've been wondering where he is, and we thought maybe he was in prison, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we don't. Well, he's been like traveling abroad, like as a fugitive.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that FBI agent, they
lingered.
They stayed on him a little too long. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah, they wanted you to do that, you know.
Oh yeah, who is this guy? But it'd be cool because the BAU team is like literally physically away from Quantico now at the FBI headquarters, and he's there.
And just the fact that he was working actually inside there, you know, that he had penetrated.
He could be the guy. Yeah, he could be the guy. Because they said
he's got to be working with somebody inside.
Yeah, they figured
that was on the
Wilkins,
prison.
Yeah, Wilkins was working with someone.
He had it because they had his FBI file.
Yeah, Wilkins had the FBI file from someone who's working in the bureau, and Prentice even said someone who's not going to be working in the bureau that much longer. He could be it.
Oh,
yes.
Now wait a second though. So then that would be that's part of Kat's plan.
Yeah, the cat's still
'Cause
alive.
Wilkins
she could
had
still
the-
be conspiring.
Right. So this could have been a larger plan of Kat's to take them all out. And that's why Scratch may be still involved someplace with this.
Yeah, because Kat and Lindsey also knew Scratch's MO, so it's like
Right.
that's still up in the air.
So he's the puppet master.
The bureau mole.
All I can say is if there is not an epic conclusion to Mr. Scratch, I'm going to be so pissed.
Oh, goodness. But yeah, that's that FBI agent. He's shady. He's the shady one. I don't like him. He
have
could
to go
be
back
the
and
accomplice.
rewatch it.
He could be Wilkins' accomplice. Part of all
sad
this.
old
He's the
moment.
one who will get fired. Or more so killed, probably. Knowing the run with the show.
Well,
You'll
knowing Reid
probably
now,
die.
you know, when Reid exacts his revenge, he's going to make it painful.
You'll probably die.
Yeah.
Overall, this was a great season to talk about. Season 12, yeah, I'm so excited for this after show. Obviously, we love Criminal Minds. It's been fun talking all season long. In the meantime, where can everyone keep following you?
Reach out at Chris Howard Live on Twitter and Instagram.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KarinaXVRGS.
And you can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms. At AfterBuzz TV, keep rating, keep commenting, keep subscribing. We have season 13, yes. We have a whole summer to wait for these guys to come back. Find out if they survived. Find out if this FBI dude is a mole.
He's a
Who
mole.
knows? I think he is. He's a shady dude.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in all season long. We have fun and hopefully we'll see you next season. Thanks, guys.
Ciao.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.